Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Monse, also known as Plasmatical Problems, as my channel name suggests. It's kind of silly, but it's the one I'm sticking with. What I am doing here today is actually the title page of my brand new sketchbook. I was very excited to be doing the title page of my sketchbook because in the past, I haven't done many things pertaining to a full-on title page. I've just gone straight into drawing, and so with this, I'm hoping to be more controlled and more organized because I've never been very organized. So what I'm currently inking is a drawing of my D&D character, Avrion. They're a dragonborn fighter / barbarian. I'm doing split classes because I just have to make things harder for myself. And doing this kind of inking is actually one of my favorite mediums of art. I've always loved using these kinds of pens ever since I really started using them back in 8th grade. I'm currently a freshman in college, and it's just always been so great. I used to not be good at it, but I always had fun. And having fun and enjoying what you're doing is honestly the most important thing about art. Of course, you want to get better and you want to be good at it, but enjoying yourself is where you really need to be in order for it to be fulfilling. Normally for a drawing like this, I would color it in and I would shade, but for the sake of this just being a title page and just a little sample of what I can do, I'm just leaving it as the outlines rather than going all in, because that's going to be for later. Now that Avrion's lines are done, I am moving on to the graphic that I have made of my name, which is not the best composition-wise. I've just never been that great at typography and logo design, but I'm rolling with it. Might as well do it just to get better. I'm starting by blacking out all of the background around the letters. I was inspired by a graffiti style, but I also wanted to go galaxy with it, so having colors over black I think is a really good combination. To save myself time and pain from having to fill in all that negative space with a tiny little pen, I'm actually switching to a brush pen, which will make the job so much easier. You just have to be careful when using brush pens because, especially with this brand of pens that I'm using, it's not always going to be opaque on your first go, on your first swipe, and it will layer and you'll be able to see those layers, so be careful when you use those kinds of pens. I definitely had to go over it several times to make sure that it was fully opaque and wasn't going to have streaks in it. Once I've got all of that filled in, I am moving on to the main colors, which I'm actually going to be using alcohol ink markers for. Now, this is the first time I've ever used alcohol ink. It's something that I've always wanted to use. Every time I see someone using Copics, I'd always be like, oh, that's so cool, I want to use that too. But they're so expensive and I can't afford them. So one day when I was in Hobby Lobby, I actually was very lucky to find this set of alcohol ink markers for only $30. And I was mystified. I was like, oh my goodness. So I just right then and there dropped $30 on it just to not waste out on the opportunity. And they're not the highest quality, like it's obvious, they were only $30 for a lot of them, but they work, and you just have to layer a lot and a lot and a lot on it in order for the colors to blend together. But I think it's worth it, honestly. And you really do need to layer a lot of ink in order for it to be opaque and to blend together properly. But with that comes a lot of bleeding. So in order to not ruin the rest of your sketchbook and any sketches you might have underneath your current page, I did have to place a piece of paper in between it just to make sure that it wasn't going to ruin everything else. Watching it now, you can really tell that I'm not very experienced with alcohol ink. I did do test swatches when I first bought the set just to make sure I wasn't totally hopeless, but this is the first time I've ever used it in a piece. So I was kind of nervous and unsure, but I just sort of followed a Prismacolor pencil rule where I would do 2 light layers and then eventually blend the 2 together by layering even more on top of that. I'm not sure that this is the best method to be using these, but it's what I know, and whatever works for you, it will work for you. That's a redundant statement, but it's true. Everyone has their different methods, so whatever you feel most comfortable with and isn't just like wasting all of your ink, it should be fine. When I'm finally done blending all of that and making sure it doesn't look like just a muddy mess, I take one of my Jelly Roll pens in white and do an outline because it didn't actually turn out as neat as I was hoping it would be. So to combat any sort of messiness, I just add an outline. Just be safe. when I finish that, I'm nearly done. I just have to do my handle slash name slash signature at the bottom, which this isn't actually the normal signature I use. I usually just use my initials, but with starting a channel and having a public name such as Plasmatical Problems, I do need to evaluate my signature options. And with that, I close out this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share with all your friends, all the typical YouTuber stuff. There's definitely going to be more of this kind of stuff in the very near future. In fact, I'm going to be recording more today and hopefully editing and posting today, because today is the 1st of October. Inktober! Hooray! Yes, it is the million drawing prompts time. So I am going to be attempting a video for every day for Inktober. I'll be mixing and matching different prompts here and there, but for the most part I'm going to be following the official prompt list, so look out for that. It'll be difficult, but I'm going to do my best. So yeah, see you later then. Bye bye.